Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. I know many of you have saw this story by now of a woman that she was one of us, a sister that went up there to get her hair braided in an African shop. And, it was over the summer when I was showing the videos of these African braiding shops. It is a nightmare up in there. I showed videos of braiders getting into big physical fights in front of the customers, them fighting the customers, them locking people in. And the one thing that many of our women were saying is how they changed the prices. They are notorious for giving you one price on the phone or one price when you get there, and then give you a whole different price either halfway into it or when they're done. Ladies and gentlemen, I even found out they do this to women in Africa. I watched a couple of videos out of Ghana where they had these Nigerian braiding shops. And one of the women I was listening to, she said she got jumped up in those shops. She went in there. She was not happy with the way her hair was coming out. She complained about it. And those African women, those Nigerian women, they jumped her up in the shop. And even they say, the African women on the continent say they have bad experiences in those braiding shops. So all they did was cross the water and come here with that same attitude in these braiding shops. And to add insult to injury, I found out these women are illegal. They done set up a whole braid shop in Birmingham, and their asses are here illegally. And, if people say boycott, there's a reason for it. This is why it should not be ignored. Because when the boycott suggestion came up, it was still summer because I did the video on it. I did the video on this very thing that happened back in the summer. And of course, you got some of our folks, no matter what, I ain't boycotting nothing. I'm going in there. You know what that tells me? You have a serious inability to stick with your own people. See, when you sit there being defiant, but see, you got to watch people like that, the ones that won't, stand with their own people. They want to do their own thing and do what they want. See, as soon as something happens to them, they want everybody to come rallying around them. No, no, no. And I've seen that happen to many of our people. I worked with some people like that. Whenever you want to stand or there's a reason or there's a boycott against something, and you see there's this one or two individuals that flat out refuse, when something happens to them, don't go run to their aid. Let them fend for themselves. All right, isn't that the attitude they took? You know, it never fails. Those folks, I'm telling you, something will always happen where they're going to need their people after turning their back. It always happens. Always. But unfortunately, is this a lesson learned? More than likely, no. You got some real hardcore hard heads within our community that will look at this and still stroll their butt right on up in there. They will still go. You should have just stuck with the boycott. You should have just done it. Plain and simple. But I feel sorry for the sister that this happened to down there in Birmingham, but let this be a lesson. Y'all stay out of them shops. They're not as cheap as you think. A lot of our women go in there because they said it's cheaper, but actually it's not cheaper at all because they're always going up on the price. I've heard that a multitude of times this past summer, that you'll get one quote on the phone, and then when you get there they go up on the price, or they give you one price when you walk in the door, and just when they get finished with your braids, they jack up the price. They are notorious for doing that. So no, they're really not cheaper at all when they're pulling those kinds of stunts. It's best to just go to braiders that are from here and get your hair done. You won't have nobody jumping you up in a salon and all that stuff. But if our women would just listen and stay out of these places when you see these, even if the incident didn't happen to you, the fact that it happened to somebody in our community, that should be enough for you to stay out of there. But obviously it's not. And like I said, I was listening to videos that came out of Ghana. Those women have had all kinds of issues. They have been physically attacked up in those shops. I listened to videos out of Nigeria. I've listened to videos out of South Africa. They do this all over the continent. They do it all over the continent where somebody will go in them shops and they'll beat the hell out of the customer. Well, what they need to know is this ain't Africa, and your actions have consequences. That's why they are in jail. They can't get out of jail. And chances are, being that we're finding out they're illegal, they're going to be deported out of here. They're going to be deported out of here. They're not going to be able to open that shop back up. But it should not have been this easy for someone here illegally to even open up a hair shop. It should not have been this easy, but it was. So we're going to look at, the news clips and some of the videos that came out. And it is disturbing looking at something like that. I've been to hair salons back in the day. I don't really go to them anymore, but I have been to hair salons, and I have never had experiences that were so bad that I was, you know, traumatized and didn't want to go back. But that seems to happen a lot in these African braid shops. People literally are getting traumatized going up in there. Why is that? Okay, we don't do business like that, Africa. Don't cross the ocean and come here and try to pull that same crap that you pull on the continent. We are not those people. And I'm surprised many of you didn't get locked up, but some of those African braid shops have been raided by ICE. Some of them have been. Mm-mm-mm. What a shame. All right, let me share my screen so we can get started. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Now, 3 women now facing charges after this video millions of people are viewing. Maybe you saw this as well. The video appears to show employees at Mama Gifted Hands grabbing a woman by the hair. Jessica Odom told our James Giles earlier this week the employees tried to charge her more than the agreed price. And that's when things turned violent. The 3 women who work at the salon are now charged with kidnapping and assault. They are now in the Jefferson County Jail with no bond.
Did y'all see that video of that lady in Birmingham, Alabama? She in the African braiding shop. She done sat down to get these braids done. They told her it was gonna be $200. You know, when you get there, they be trying to skim and scam and scheme. So they tried to put a little extra 50 on top of her 200. Talking about, oh, we put this extra different kind of hair in your head, so it's gonna be an upcharge or something to that effect. Of course, they having words back and forth because no, I agreed to pay 200, and the Africans is like, no, you're gonna pay 250. By the time this lady start recording the video, the Africans got her hair wrapped up in a ball like they finna start going to work on her. What is happening? Now, if you ain't never got your hair braided, basically, if you're not black, that is so tight on your head. Like, I'm not even joking. It's not even first day. That's not even a couple of hours. That is 5 minutes from getting out the African chair. First of all, braids, fresh braids are going to be tight. They're kind of going to hurt anyway. But when you get your hair done by the Africans, they got that African grip. Like, I don't know what else to call it other than African grip. They really be pulling your hair. They quite literally, I'm trying to make you understand, they be pulling the follicles up out of your head. So for them to have her freshly braided hair in their hands and they pulling it, oh my God. This is a reason to boycott, because that right there was crazy. Now, the restraint that lady had, maybe because she was by herself and, it'd be like 5 or 10 Africans in that shop. Or maybe she wanted to just, record and get a payday. Or maybe she just, a kind person. Maybe she, don't do confrontation. She ain't know what to do. But I guarantee you this, them Africans knew who to try. They knew exactly who to play with. Because if they would have tried that on the right one, then they was in Birmingham, Alabama. Ooh-wee. If you don't know about Birmingham, Alabama, let me tell you, Birmingham, Alabama is the home of First 40. I know every city, state, I swear to God, every city. Birmingham, Alabama, let me tell you, is the home of First 48. They'd have tried the right one on the right day in Birmingham. Baby, somebody would have came out that purse and really showed them. Anyway, I said all that to say, are we boycotting the Africans now? Especially y'all down there in Birmingham. What is y'all finna do? Y'all need to go down there to the African shop, get some straightening about that girl, because her head, I think they pulled some braids out of her hair too, actually. Did y'all see the video? Please get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts.
So Mama Gifted Hands is in jail, and not just Mama Gifted Hands, 2 of her workers is in jail. And I'm gonna tell y'all how $50 is gonna turn into $50,000. And as a business owner, you have to move different out here. So Mama Gifted Hands told this lady $200, okay? And we know after she got done or whatever the case may be, she wanted to charge the lady $50 more. But this is what you told her over the phone. Maybe that's all the lady had. Maybe that, and even if that's not all she had, that's what you told her. Okay. So then you wants to rip this lady hair when it's time for her to go. This is what you told me. I'm not paying extra, woot this, whatever the case may be. Africans are already under the radar. We already know attitudes, blah, woot this. Now, the Africans that braided my hair, I must say they were beautiful people inside and out. They treated me very nice. Okay. Now, I'm not saying all Africans are like that, but they do be having a little attitude. And I said I was one of the ones to say that a lot of African women do not like black women. Okay. Keep that in mind. My video went viral. But anyway, and I'm gonna say this again: the Africans that I went to, they were very beautiful, respectful. They was very nice to me. I must say that. But anyway, this $50 is gonna cost her $50,000, because now you have to get out of jail. You have to bond these other ladies. I'll probably help them get out of jail. You have to get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Court fees and all the above. And plus, on top of that, you're gonna have to end up paying this lady, and you're gonna lose customers because a lot of people not gonna want to come back to you. So as a business owner, you have to watch the way that you move. So you would have lost out on that $50, but now you're gonna lose out on 50,000. So you have to make it make sense. Okay. She's not gonna win nowhere around the board at all. You know what I'm saying? You really have lost. So make sure as a business owner you make decisions, for your business and what's best for you is what I'm saying. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed to J-Lo.
Okay, y'all, I'm coming to y'all with a story out of Birmingham, Alabama on the east side. Mama's Gifted Hands African hair braiding, okay? This story went viral. Of the girl in there getting her hair done, thought she was going to get a good experience. Towards the end, they upped the price on her, wanted $50 more, and tried to hold her hostage in the shop after she refused the upcharge. They tried to hold her hostage in the shop, couldn't pull the girl hair out, pull her edges out. It was a big thing. I know y'all seen the video. So since then, the owner, the girl who was behind her holding her hair, and the other lady, I don't even think she was doing that. Maybe she locked the door or something. She was part of the story. But the owner and 2 employees of the shop have been arrested. They sent in a Jefferson County jail with no bond. I believe justice has been served.
See, don't come down here in Birmingham with that bullshit. Don't come down here in Birmingham with the BS. Don't do it. Birmingham PD said they wasn't playing that shit. They're not gonna be playing it with y'all. Okay? So tell me if you done heard it. Tell me if you know about the people that have been locked up. They done locked these girls up. The owner, they locked up the owner and her and 2 employees. I will be putting their mug shots in the comments. Meet me there. Let me know what you think. Birmingham, Alabama, Big 205 on the east side. Mama's gifted hands, African hair braid. The situation what went down when she was pulling that lady hair, she has been arrested.
So
Yeah, you know what? This reminded me another thing these African braid shops do. If you tell them how you want your hair, they do whatever the hell they want and end up giving you a style that you did not ask for and expect you to pay for it. That is another big thing they do up in those shops. Instead of giving you the braids you want, you'll ask for box braids and they won't give you box braids. They'll just give the braider will do whatever whatever they want to do with your head and think, since they did some work, you should at least pay them. And that is another terrible attitude many of these African shops have as well. And that also causes a lot of conflict between them and the customers when they make a request before you even got started, and then you go off and do something else, with their hair. So I have seen that too on numerous videos. All right, let's get back to it.
Mama Gifted Hands is in jail, and not just Mama Gifted Hands. 2 of her workers is in jail, and I'm gonna tell y'all how $50 is gonna turn into $50,000. And as a business owner, you have to move different out here. So Mama Gifted Hands, okay, she's not gonna win nowhere around the board at all. You know what I'm saying? You really have lost. So make sure as a business owner you make decisions, for your business and what's best for you is what I'm saying. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed to J-Lo.
Because of $50, now this Africa braider take use go jail without bond. So the story be say, as soon as see for this video, as she dey drag that other lady hair. This lady, na African woman, she gets saloon for Birmingham for America. The name of the saloon na Mama's Gifted Hand. So this lady, where she dey drag her hair, they talk online, say, oh, I want make my hair. Oh, see the hair what I want make. She can say, okay, oh, now the price what I go collect be this, which is $200. The lady can't accept. They don't talk about price and everything. The lady go make her hair. After this African lady make the lady hair finish, she can't say no. She go have $50. Say na 250, no be 200 again. Now the American woman can't be like, I don't understand. Now they start to the drag. Oh, the lady can't they drag the hair where she play. Say, lie for this life, you must pay me my $50. The American lady they tell her, say, see me see problem. I go sue you. Why they draw my hair? Why they draw? She they draw. As it stands now, they don't arrest them. They don't charge them for 1st-degree kidnapping and 3rd-degree assaulting. Not be only she they arrest though. Our 2 staff where they where all of them join and they drag this woman. They arrest them. They don't arrest 3 of them for the same. They charge them for the same thing. That is 1st-degree kidnapping and 3rd-degree assaulting without no bond. As even be so, they fit deport them after they don't serve. And wow, because of $50. See what you go do. You wey be African lady, wey dey America, where you go jeje dey survive your life. You go there, go dey drag person. Where you don't talk price. If not be greediness, wetin make you go dey drag person after you don't tell am price. I say make I come tell una this story. Una no forget to follow, like, and comment. Thank you.
Did y'all see that video of that lady in Birmingham, Alabama? She in the African braiding shop. She done sat down to get these braids done. They told her it was going to be $200. You know when you get there, they be trying to scam and scam and scheme. So they tried to put a little extra 50 on top of her 200. Talking about, oh, we put this extra different kind of hair in your head, so it's going to be an upcharge or something to that effect. Of course, they having words back and forth because, no, I agreed to pay 200 and the Africans is like, no, you're going to pay 250. By the time this lady start recording the video, the Africans got her hair wrapped up in a ball like they finna start going to work on her. What is happening? Now, if you ain't never got your hair braided, basically, if you're not black, that is so
video real quick, and then we'll come back with more commentary.
I got the message. I done paid you exactly what you asked for. Let my hair go.
Caught on camera and caught by her hair.
They're pulling so hard that they end up pulling out 2 braids with my real hair attached.
Jessica Odom says she just wanted to feel pampered and get her hair braided at Mama Gifted Hands on Friday.
I would have never expected for it to end the way that it ended.
Odom says she texted the salon owner directly to book her appointment. In the text messages, you can see she asked how much for the service, and the owner responded with $200.
When I arrived, everything was going well. Hospitality was there. It was a nice vibe, nice environment. I got to watching Netflix over there while they was doing my hair, and when they finished, everything pretty much went left.
She don't want to pay. She don't want you to pay, sir. Man, show the money. Show what I paid. You paid, but we're gonna fix it.
Odom says she pulled out the cash to pay. And that's when she says the owner walked over and said,
"You're going to have to pay me $50 more." Then I tried to make my way to the door. And as I'm making my way to the door, she's like, "Just give me 30. If you can't give me 30, then go sit over there and we'll cut the hair out."
Fearing for her life, Odom says she was locked inside the salon. She says she was tussling with the shop owner and 3 other women while trying to unlock the door.
Yeah, record us. Let my hair go. I'm not leaving. Let it go. I'm not leaving. You gotta pay. I got the message. I done paid you exactly what you asked for. Let my hair go. I don't care. Let my hair go. I don't care. Give me my phone. I'm gonna do a live. Go ahead. Let my hair go. I'll do the same thing. She's I'm not leaving. She don't want you to. She don't want to pay. She don't want you to pay, sir. Man, show the money. Show what I paid. You paid, but we're gonna fix it. You not leaving. Show what I paid. I'm not showing nothing. You didn't pay enough. This is the money, but you're not leaving. Hello. Man, you sound crazy. Yeah, come in. Bro, let my hair go. We cannot leave you. Man, I'm finna sue you, bro. I'm finna sue you. Okay, I'm gonna shoot you too. I said sue. Okay. Now let me go. We're gonna sue you too. Now you wanna threaten me? Yeah, because you hit me first. Man, let me go. No, I did, bro. Let me go. You're not leaving. We're gonna fix it. Nah, you ain't doing nothing. Let me go. You're not leaving. We're gonna fix this. Bro, let me go. You're not leaving. From that part. Look at this. She pays $250. You can pay $250 for it. You didn't say $250. Okay, I told you just pay for the hair and leave.
So Mama Gifted Hands is in jail, and not just Mama Gifted Hands. 2 of her workers is in jail, and I'm gonna tell y'all how $50 is gonna turn into $50,000. And as a business owner, you have to move different out here. So Mama Gifted Hands told this lady $200. Okay.
Miss this right here, Miss Mama's right here. Well, I'm gonna have to use that $200 and a little bit extra for bail money.
Bitch, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. So these bitches thought they was gonna come to Birmingham, Alabama and kidnap and assault a motherfucking lady about $50 motherfucking dollars. Bitch, we don't get down like that. Y'all getting exactly what the fuck you deserve. The text messages prove that y'all made an agreement on the payment on those motherfucking braids. You got in that video and act a whole motherfucking ass like you didn't give a fuck that you were committing a motherfucking crime for $50. Now, I don't know how long your cockeyed ass been in Birmingham braiding hair. I personally ain't never been to you, bitch, and I live past the motherfucking Parkway, okay? 5'2" is who I've been dealing with for motherfucking years. But at the end of the day, bitch, I bet your motherfucking ass know now, ho. You dirty foot assholes can't come over here and think you gonna motherfucking handle us, bitch. It don't work like that. And you definitely chose the wrong city to do that in, bitch. You better hope that motherfucker still standing when y'all make motherfucking bun. Matter motherfucking fact, bitch. When you bun out, I'm gonna need you to get in that motherfucking Pinto that you drove all the way to Birmingham in and drive all motherfucking back where the fuck you came from. Cause we don't get down like that. Praying for motherfucking old girl who went down through there in that little situation right there. You better be glad she ain't no kin to me, bitch, or it'll be worse than what the fuck it is. But you better start respecting the black queen, bitch. Y'all hoes look just like us and you come over here and think you gonna goddamn down us. Nah, bitch, it don't work like that. Don't step on our motherfucking territory and think you gonna motherfucking handle us, bitch. This the United States. We don't get down like that. And you definitely can't fuck around in Birmingham, Alabama. Don't drop the soap, bitches.
She ain't never lie. Ain't never lie. They are in a horrible situation, y'all. And you know, one thing I do know, and from people that have been on the inside, they tell you the one thing they let you do is watch the news And you can best believe them sisters knew these Africans was coming up in there in that prison. They knew. So it's bad enough that you pulled this thing with a sister down there in Birmingham. Man, them prisoners ain't gonna have no mercy on the three of you. They're not gonna have no mercy on y'all up in there. They ain't gonna have no mercy on you three up in that prison. And they probably knew what you did, and they were sitting there waiting on you to show up. Because usually that's what happens. They can't do nothing but watch the news. They can't do nothing else in the prisons. That's the only thing they are allowed to watch. But hey, it's a lesson learned, y'all. They definitely did an FAFO. And now, look, they can't even bond out of prison. They can't even bond out. And they slapped them with first-degree kidnapping. First degree. Woo! Mm-mm-mm. And it's not just them. It's these braiding shops all over the country. These kind of confrontations are always happening. And I'm going to say this again with love, my sisters. Stop going to these places. If they can't give you a straight price and stick with that price, that is not a place you should be spending your money. And that seems to be a big thing when it comes down to these African braid shops. They always getting you when it comes down to the money. And that right there is just part of that scamming from places that they come from. These folks are big time scammers. That's why they can always do that was the number one thing. If you go back and watch the videos I did on African braid shops over the summer, that was the number one thing our women kept bringing up over and over and over. They gave you one price, either when you got there or over the phone. And then when they got done with your head, they done jacked the price up. And that's not right. Some people, they're not prepared to pay more. They're prepared to give you the amount you first quoted. They may not have that extra $50. They may not have that extra $30. They may have just the amount you quoted. So use discernment out here when it comes down to your hair. And I said this to my people before, and I'm going to say this to you again. When it comes down to your hair, my brothers and sisters, and you folks that have purchased my products, when it comes down to your hair, I want y'all to be picky as hell. And I mean that. Be picky when it comes down to your hair. Be very particular about what you expect when you get things for your hair. If you haven't done it before, I want you to start doing it now. Because what they do, sometimes that mess can't be reversed. Sometimes the damage that's done to your hair cannot be reversed. So you be picky, you be particular. If there's something about a service you don't like when it comes down to your hair, or you walk in a store and you see a product and some of the ingredients look good, but some, no, don't buy it. Be picky. You got every right to be that way. And even you men, when it comes down to things for your beards, be picky. If you see ingredients on some beard products and you don't know what the hell it is, put that shit back up on the shelf. I'm dead serious. Put it back on the shelf. Be very particular about what goes in your hair. For real. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you for being here. My next live will be at 1:45, and Donald Trump has now targeted the Somalian community in Ilhan Omar's district, which is the largest Somalian community in the United States. He just stripped their TPS rights away from them. And he's getting ready to go in there heavily with ICE and start dragging those folks the hell up on out of here. So we will talk about that at 1:45. I will see you then. Shalom, family.